Okay, hey everybody. So the purpose of this video that we're going to do today, or that I'm going to do today, is the bug out scenario and what you would put in the types of items that you would put, or at least that I would put, in a bug out bag should that scenario ever happen. And we all hope that it doesn't, but in case it does, sometimes being prepared is the best thing. So I'd just like to show you some of the items that I have. We'll go through all this stuff. My fishing components for the survival aspect are very key. I carry a fair bit of stuff in the pouch. I have my fishing reel filled with line, as heavy filled with line as I can, so that if the line was to ever break, you know, anything like that, that I would still have plenty of line left. I also do carry a spare reel of line. Should that happen as well. You never know how long you're going to be on the run. It could be weeks, it could be months, it could be years. Survival could turn into the way of life. Then I have a miniature size fishing kit, again to cut down on weight, but I have it packed. So, miniature knife, not that it's a big deal, but I have 2 lures in each. I have a bag of lots of little fishing hooks just by themselves, some sinkers, things like that. If you were to lose all the lures eventually, I also carry tin foil. And with fish hooks and tin foil, I have made spinners and successfully caught lake trout and a few other fish using a tin foil spinner, believe it or not. And I have friends that can attest to that. They still think it's magical. So that's my fishing kit. Plenty of lures, plenty of hooks, plenty of things that I would need to keep me going. My fishing rod, my reel, my extra line. I also bring 1 float. I don't usually fish with floats, but in a survival situation a float is great because you can set out an overnight line, let the bobber just float in the water with a specified amount of string, and hopefully in the morning you've got something to fill your stomach. So a float is very key in a survival situation if you can have one. When you prepare for it, you do. Okay. So, standard kind of headlamp. You can pick these up nowadays at the dollar store for $2. Somebody's texting me. So anyway, you can pick these up at the dollar store for $2. I have a whole bunch of extra batteries for it to keep me going for at least a couple weeks with the batteries if you're smart. You got to remember too, if you're bugging out, you are going to be traveling at night if you're smart. In the cover of darkness. I mean, darkness is a type of camouflage, so definitely have some extra batteries for your lamp and your light should you need them. Very, very important. I carry 2 comms. Now, I know I'm not going to be able to recharge them. I'm looking at these as fully charged. They're going to be a one-time use. They're going to be used to get you into the location, your bug out location, which you should already have predestined, pre-planned. So the comms are going to last for as long as they can, and then we're just basically going to pitch them. So these will get us to where we're going, over a portage and a few other things that you got to do should you need them, should you get separated. You'd have them, and then when the battery dies, we're simply going to pitch them because there isn't going to be a way for us to recharge them should this scenario ever happen. I bring a few 9-volt batteries. Not that I have anything that charges on 9-volt, but 9-volt itself, if you cross the terminals mixed with a piece of metal, you can use it to start a fire, or what works best is those SOS pads. Beautiful for starting fires, so I pack an SOS pad as well, so that I use this as part of my fire starting kit. I have flammable packets that when they just catch a spark, they actually burn for about 5 minutes each or whatever, so they're really good at getting fire started even in bad conditions. My magnesium block, sorry, I couldn't think of what it was called there for a sec. So my magnesium block, I also have a striker, which I don't have right here. I went camping last weekend, for some reason I can't find it, so it must be in the car. I carry a few brand new, never been used lighters and some matches. I do have other matches as well. I keep them in a Ziploc bag just so that there's no moisture or anything like that that can get to them. I keep that with my fire kit, and I bring a few candles as well. I also bring a roll of multi-purpose utility cord. I can start fire by friction, so I use this for a bow to do the bow fire start method. So I make sure I always have like a good roll of paracord. North America, because that's the where I am. I also have a compass that goes with that map. I also keep the map, as you can see, in a Ziploc bag to make sure it's waterproof. It also goes on the inside of my bag. I carry a deck of cards. Hopefully you escape with a friend so that you don't go completely nuts, and maybe once in a while in low light conditions you're sitting in the dark playing cards to keep your sanity. Now I'll move on to my tools. I carry a fair amount of tools. Bring them all over here. I have a pellet gun, lots of CO2 cartridges and pellets. This would be for hunting small game like squirrels, birds, such things as that. It would be more effective than just trying to snare or anything like that alone. Gives you a little bit of distance as you're walking through. You might be able to pick yourself up some small game using this pellet gun. It's not going to be any good in the way of defense, that's for sure, but more from a small game standpoint, survivalist standpoint. I carry my favorite knife, always. I carry a fillet knife, so if I catch any fish or if I catch any animals through snaring or small animals, that I can fillet the animal. I also carry a good multi-tool, so again, more knives, fish scaler, pliers should I need it, dehooking a fish, whatever, a few extra blades, screwdrivers, and a whole bunch of other little components. Again, they all have their own little bags, so you can strap them on you should you need them if you're just going out from your camp and you need your tools. I carry probably one of the most important things is a really sharp little miniature saw. And it has a spare blade. This one's a Gerber. It actually works quite well. You can cut through, 6-inch trees with it, or 6-inch logs with it quite easily. So you're not only burning kindling once you get sort of going, if you can start a fire at all. I also carry the miniature hiker axe, hatchet. I am going to eventually change this. I do want the longer one. It'll add a little weight to my pack, but I find this is really only good for splitting and cutting after you've used the saw. So I think a bigger axe or the bigger hat. Then I come over to my medical kit slash other pouch. I don't know what you want to call it, my toiletries, I guess. This is just a normal Trek 1 miniature hiking emergency kit. I've put a bunch of other things in it. It's got some Ozanol in it, it's got some Tylenols, I have in that kit I put a maxi pad, which is really, really good for dressing like a bigger wound or a bigger gash. Maxi pads are really recommended for survival situations because of their absorbent ability and their self-ability to stick. So maxi pads very important. I also carry a roll of toilet paper, again in its own Ziploc bag to keep it completely waterproof. Not necessarily because I have to go to the washroom, but because toilet paper will make great tinder should I have to start a fire by friction. So very easily, light toilet paper, you can frizz it up and just a little spark and you'll get yourself going. One of the other more important items that I carry is foot powder. And you say foot powder when you're on your run and your feet are not coming out of your boots for days on end and they could be wet and whatever, foot powder could save your life. You laugh, but it is true. Soldiers march by their feet, and this is a lifesaver in that kind of situation. Hand sanitizer, toothbrush, a bar of soap, some toothpaste, hygiene, even on the run. I carry a pair of scissors, some lip balm, and a few razors, and another knife that I keep in my medical kit. It's a little bit bigger blade, really, really sharp blade, and this also has a very strong screwdriver. I carry a standard size Canadian military canteen, and I also have a 2-liter water bladder pack that I carry. Water bladders inside. Can carry a few other things in the bag if you want, but again, it's all about my water supply. Food is important, yet it adds a lot of weight. So as far as food, I carry one of the most important things I've ever used camping, and I still love for a million different reasons, is a stainless steel cup. Stainless steel cup can be used for boiling water. It can be used for cooking.